Welcome back, my Banter Bro furries. I am your coordinator this evening, Timothy Bennett, and you are in for a pleasurable episode of another romantic month-themed discussion, where we choose all three of our favorite romantic films. And Aram's giving me a look like, how dare you?
Don't you just look away. Let him try his shit.
So,
This is maintaining eye contact.
He's
That's
being
just
all
good,
self-conscious.
that's just good conversation skills. Is what that is.
No.
joining me is my furry number 1 and my furry number 6.
Zarin Banyan. Since we forgot to do that last
This
time.
is Jason Furry Chandler.
Nice.
I thought that's gonna haunt me.
Mm-hmm.
And before we get going on our actual themed month discussion, we are going to start off with our Marvel. And last week we did Iron Man 1.
Yep.
And this week we're going to do Iron Man 2 because it only makes sense to go in order.
Yeah.
In order of the phases.
Order of the
not
phases.
in chronological order.
Well, even though this is still the crowd, since we're not doing the Hulk, the Incredible
Right.
Hulk, this is still going in order from when they were filmed. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
at least we're safe right now.
I should say we're not going timeline.
Timeline. There you go. Yeah.
That's
Yeah. Because we thought about it and then
We explained it last episode.
quickly, yeah.
that gets murky.
Yeah. Oh, man. Especially with them coming up with it, man. It could cause a lot of issues. Backtracking. So,
Yeah.
let's get going on Iron Man 2.
Yeah.
So, Aram, take her away.
All right. Iron Man 2 was released in 2010. I don't have the exact date, but 2010 was directed by Jon Favreau. Credit as being written by Justin Theroux, whose name sounds familiar. I just don't remember
Yep,
why.
he was the one that was dating Jennifer Aniston for a while.
Ah, that's
he's,
why.
He's an actor, writer, producer, director. He does it all. And he's hilarious.
Yeah.
I thoroughly enjoyed him.
But yeah, so it's credited as being written. The screenplay is being credited as written by Justin Theroux, but Stan Lee and Don Heck apparently wrote the Marvel comic book. That's the way IMDb has it written down. It was. I've now forgotten everything I need to fucking talk about.
What was the budget for that?
That's what it was. Hold on one second here.
Because we had the opening box office, which
So,
we're always shocked with.
domestic box office, it made $312 million. International box office, it made another $308 million.
And the budget?
Budget,
have
which
that?
I had.
But that's practically doubling from the first one.
Yeah, absolutely. What was
Production-
the first one? Like
it was like
180?
low 100 or low.
180
Yeah, it was,
million,
yeah.
something like
That was the
Some-
budget.
yeah.
Oh, that was the budget.
But it grossed opening weekend like 109 or something.
Yeah, it almost made its money back. It didn't quite make its money back, but almost. But its production budget is listed as 170 million. So, worldwide box office, according to this, says it made 3.7 times the production budget.
How do they make this movie with less of a budget? I don't know. Because they definitely have better cinematography, or it was a little futuristic, I guess.
Technology and shit like that.
Could also be
yeah.
travel. There wasn't a lot of traveling.
Yeah,
They
that's
They
true.
only went to Italy, but they weren't elsewhere.
I mean,
so.
you can fake
There was
You
a
know,
lot of computer
the
shit.
bits
True,
of like
yeah.
Italy that they were in. You could fake. I mean,
Yeah, that's true.
Except
Yeah.
for the wide shots.
Either way, good for them,
But yeah, so it
budget-wise.
opening
financially.
weekend it made $128 million. So it almost made its money back just opening weekend.
Yep.
Uh,
Oh, yeah. I mean, good for them. Like you said, Jason. Good
yeah,
for them.
Yeah, whatever.
for sure.
So, and I mean, we did have a new introduction of a new actress who came on board.
Actress and a
And-
replacement actor.
Yeah. Who's the replace? Oh, yeah.
Rhodey.
We did.
Yeah.
Yeah, we talked about that. Yeah. So Don Cheadle made his appearance
Mhm.
as replacing Terrence Howard
Yep.
from the first one.
As
As-
Road.
Road.
And I do
Rhodes,
have a
yep.
solid
I
reason.
can't remember his first name.
Yeah, what's his
offhand.
freaking first name?
James.
Howard?
James. The character.
Oh, Rhodey
I think
Rhodes.
it's James Rhodes.
Rod? Did you say Roddy Rose?
Rhodey Rhodes.
Rhodey Rhodes.
No, yeah,
That's what he calls him.
That's
yeah.
like
Yeah.
the nickname.
Yeah.
I think it's
I
cooler
think his
than the
first
other
name is
shit, but-
James in the movie.
Yeah,
James
military.
Rhodes.
Yeah. So.
But he
Colonel
played War
James Rhodes.
Machine.
Yeah.
Yep. This is where
Um,
we get to see the first like actual shot of War Machine too. But
Yep.
we'll get into that.
Yeah.
And then you had Scarlett Johansson
Yep.
made her
She comes in
appearance
as
into
this
this.
is her first.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
as Natasha Romanoff.
Mm-hmm.
But She plays the assistant.
Spying around, sneaking around as Natalie.
Natalie Rushman, I believe, is
Rushman,
her.
yeah.
Is her
Rushman's
name
so
when you're first introduced to her.
Yep.
As legal.
Yeah.
And we also get, I do believe this is the moment where we see Sam Rockwell
Yes.
too
Justin Hammer.
as Justin Hammer. Yep, which he's the opposing forces for Iron Man's Tony Stark's Stark
another
Industries,
weapons
the
dealer.
weapons
He's what-
division.
Yeah, he's what Iron Man or Tony Stark was. He was a competitor, essentially.
competitor.
He's a
Which I
competitor.
forgot about, and it's kind of funny because Sam Rockwell was the backup plan if they didn't get Downey Jr. So you kind of got to see.
Right.
Obviously, he didn't go full Tony Stark with this
Right.
character, but
His portrayal of Justin Hammer was a lot more childish.
oh
than-
yes,
Than he
Yeah.
acted like a petulant child.
just
most
a
of the time.
fucking spoiled little
Tantrums,
brat.
Yeah.
And then just as a comedy fan, Gary Shandling
Yep.
was the.
The senator.
And I think it's perfect because politics are a joke. I mean, all that type of shit. So a comedian to fucking pick on him, and
Yeah.
I thought it was. I don't know if they did it on purpose, but it was a smart
The opening and closing
poking fun
scenes.
type of thing.
Yeah.
The opening and closing scenes of this movie with him are
Yeah,
some of the best.
Yep.
Absolutely.
So, yay or nay? Did you guys like this second Iron Man better, worse, or about the same as the first one?
The
Nowhere near the same as the first one.
the first one was much better. I had a lot of issues for the first 40 minutes of this movie, and then I finally just gave up and like just settled in and watched.
You know, why
Yeah,
is that?
that's kind of what.
Like why was that? What was your kind of?
It was just a lot of the plot and a lot of the things. Like I just looked and I was like, what are they doing? Like there
Yeah.
was recycled stuff that like they just sort of like glossed over, or like they just ham-fisted other stuff in. Like
Yeah.
See, that's how I feel. Like the way you watch it, or that's how I watch this movie too. Is like, all right, let's just get it done.
Yeah.
And that's how I feel like they made the movie. They
Yeah.
were just like, all right, we started it, we got to finish.
It wasn't like it was being rushed by any means, but they were trying to hit the marks.
Yeah.
They were just trying to make those pleasing appeals and
Yeah.
hit the marks and make sure that
And I think,
to make the audience, I guess, pay attention and
Right.
satisfied.
So I mean, I don't know.
Should
I
we
didn't
just start
hate
at the
the movie, but yeah. Tim, how'd you feel about it?
So I'd same way. Like it's just I didn't like. It was still entertaining. I still
Mhm.
love it because it's a comic book movie and they can't really do
once
it
I
wrong.
got past
but
the first 40 minutes, like I settled in and I was like, okay, now I'm engaged and like things are happening. Like
Yeah.
but that first 40 minutes was just rough.
I agree. Like it's not nearly as good as the first one.
The second Monaco happened, I like just put my phone down and I stopped taking notes.
Yeah.
But like everything before that, I was like, what are we doing?
I think for me, one of the issues I had was Justin Hammer, Sam Rockwell's character, unimportant. He's supposed to be like that bridge to
Yeah.
like everything, but he's such a, like you said, a child, but he's such a unimportant character really. In
Yeah.
this film, you could have done without him and
Yep.
still gotten where you
you could
needed
have
to
had
go.
anybody give Mickey Rourke the like opportunities that they gave him,
Yep.
and like it wouldn't have mattered.
Yep.
He added some comedic
No.
background,
Touches.
but like that was it. Like
He tried to be funny, but I just felt bad for Sam Rockwell. I'm like,
Right.
you probably took this movie because fucking Iron Man. Why not? Like, kind of how Val
Well,
Kilmer
yeah.
took the Batman thing, just
Right.
like blindly accepted the role, and then the character and what he had to work with. I was like, oh, you're so much better than this motherfucker.
his best part is when he's going out to give the presentation at the end.
You
and
like
he's
the dance?
dancing his
You-
way out.
I'll give him his footwork, but that shit pissed me off. I was annoyed with it,
I was annoyed with
and
it
that
too.
was just.
Yeah,
just thought that was-
That's
I
an
give
example
him,
of everything you're saying.
I give him
think.
appreciation for the fact that he do it, but like
Yeah.
I personally thought
Whatever.
that whole presentation was probably his best part because, like, he tries to make a joke about. I even forgot the joke now, but he tried to make a joke and it fell flat, and you could see him kind of
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
scramble.
I'll agree. That is his
Like-
best part because he failed.
Yeah.
he fucking
And it's
just
that's
this
his best
whole
part.
character in this movie.
I think the only time I really liked him was when he was selling off his weapons to Rhodes.
Oh,
to
yeah.
Rhodey, and
I actually
and-
fast forward to that part. I was
Yeah.
like, I don't fucking care, but this is a
Call
stupid
this one
waste.
the ex-wife.
yeah, that's probably my favorite part. That's
Yeah.
really the only time I'm like, okay,
That one was
I like
all right.
it.
I think
Yeah.
the reason that part worked so well is Rhodey, I think, going, I'll take it. Which one? All of it.
yep. But moving on from that,
Yeah.
so the yeah, so the storyline had it was very basic.
I'll
Wasn't
give-
anything impressive.
Right.
I think that's where once again it
The
was just trying to hit
storyline-
the marks.
Okay, the storyline is just Iron Man created something amazing. The government is like, that's a weapon, give it to me. And he's like, go fuck yourself, it's mine. Freedom, blah, blah, blah. And then the world is trying to copy that because, you know, it's something amazing. So
yeah.
people want their own, especially people in power. So that's like the ultimate conflict in this. And
No,
that's kind of
and
what
then
and
top it
Sam
on-
Rockwell was like, he had the money to fund it.
Top it on with the thing I actually hated the most was, oh no, Tony Stark is dying.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
he's keeping a
exactly.
secret
I got-
because he's such a
I was
brute
so
I
about
got
it.
a note about that,
Yeah.
by the way. Like,
And that's the other part. And then, yeah,
you have
him.
Flash.
He's got the timers counting down on his
Yeah.
fucking blood
Yep.
thing.
His
It's like,
blood tussles
the movie
you.
starts at 19%. By the
Okay.
time it's serious at 50%, he tries to have conversations with Pepper, and they fail twice.
I want to give you my note on that part was, why the fuck does his condition look like a circuit board coming out of that? That's not how your nervous or your veins work. They're not shaped like
Yeah.
that. They
No.
don't have sharp edges. And they're like, they kept saying
It
like
did
it's
look
your
pretty
blood.
bad.
It's it's the palladium in your blood. Your blood system or your vein system doesn't look
Oh,
like
it's a
that.
circuit board now.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then like when they
not to
do-
mention he doesn't have any actual circuits in his body.
Well, exactly.
Anyway.
He's
Yeah.
got the
So-
artery core right there, and
Yep,
that's it.
That's it.
Like
He must have a plug-in.
yeah,
but-
and like, but that's like just buried deep in there. Like, and they give him the like not the little thing that like stop the infection for a little bit, or like when he puts the new core in,
yeah.
and everything just recedes. None of that works that quick.
No.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, how they left that scene where it just gets so bright, it covers his whole fucking character.
Yeah.
Oh,
Then
yeah.
they just go to the next scene. I was like, cop out, cheaters, fucking. You knew that wasn't gonna go
the
well. so
way
you
not to
blinded
hate
me.
on
You blinded
Justin's
the
writing
details.
because
Yeah.
like he did what he did.
Oh,
I like the
I
guy.
have a note on why I think things went awry, but
Well,
continue.
my biggest
So
thing
no reason
about
to hate on the writer.
my biggest thing about this film is it was basically taking the 90s cliche stories,
Yeah,
storylines and stuff, and trying to put it into the 2000s,
yeah.
like the late 2000s. Like,
Yeah.
that is what I felt like. This entire movie had all the cliches,
See,
tropes that you
The
could pull
big-
from all the,
The
90s
big thrust
shit.
of this movie is like, oh, your family wronged my family, even though like
yeah.
technically speaking, they were like the
And
ones
then,
that
yeah.
think they're wronged don't see it that way.
Mickey Rourke's.
Yeah, Vanko.
Yeah,
That whole
Anton
that's what you're talking
Vanko.
about, right? His reason for going after Tony
Yeah.
Stark, fucking so slim, so
Okay.
no connection with me there.
So I have a few
And-
complaints about that
yeah.
opening. Okay, they felt the need to really show that it's in Russia. First of all, they made it snow.
Yep.
Everybody's dressed like a peasant. I didn't see
Yep.
anybody wearing regular clothes.
Yeah.
Yeah, when his dad dies, he just takes a pull off of a bottle of vodka
Mhm.
and then just like Mickey Rourke's himself into the air, like just screaming the way Mickey Rourke can and no one else.
It's also a completely dark blue tone.
Yep.
Mm.
Not just because it's winter, because it's Russia.
And
Yeah, it's Moscow. Or no.
yeah, it's
yeah, I think
Moscow.
it's
Yeah.
Moscow, yeah.
Going into that, I
Wish
have,
they had to choose Moscow.
well, yeah,
out of
because
the
no one
giant
knows.
That's
Any,
the
continent,
no
'cause
one
most
knows any
well-known-
other places
than
in
Siberia.
That's where
Siberia.
the kids. That's what kids know. The kids
Yep.
know Moscow.
Exactly.
Yep.
That's what I mean.
You learned about that shit in elementary school. Yep.
So this is my complaint from both movies that I actually sat there and thought about. You see Vanko making his own arc reactor,
Mm-hmm.
and he and Robert Downey Jr. both use an anvil and smelting equipment. So in lieu of an actual laboratory, are we to believe that these two yahoos are fucking blacksmiths at the
Yeah.
same time?
You gotta build a base for all that.
well,
fancy
well.
technology.
Here's the only thing that I give Robert Downey Jr. I was actually having
He was
this,
in a cave. I'll give him
well,
that one.
I had this discussion about this. Is
Oh,
while watching these two films, I was trying to fathom how much of a genius Tony Stark really, really is. Like, I could not
Yeah.
fathom the intelligence this dude has because he's got to be, he's only human. He's strictly human. No extra powers or anything. He's just
Yeah.
human. But he's got to be the smartest motherfucker on the face of the earth, if not multiple
Graduating
galaxies.
summa cum laude at 17 from MIT.
It's not even that. Like,
But you-
he has, like, he understands every fucking thing. He understands molecular, was it
Molecular,
biology. He understands engineering to a T. Like all this shit, he understands everything and he can do. It's one thing to understand it. Like this is where I think that Bruce Banner, like I don't have as much of a respect as
Are
I
you
would
saying
for
it's
Tony
believable
Stark.
or not?
No. What I'm saying is like I can't fathom how fucking intelligent Tony Stark is. He's even smarter than Bruce Banner.
Yeah.
That's the
Well,
thing.
Bruce Banner is
is
only focused in one area.
Yeah.
Whereas Stark seems
Can
to
do anything.
do all the stuff.
He can do anything.
He's
Yeah.
mechanically inclined, so like he understands the way things work. Like even like in this movie where he's taking apart the diagram of the expo and he just assembles a molecule.
Yep. A new element.
How the fuck?
Yep. And that's what I'm getting at is like trying to they do a decent job at showing the extent of his knowledge and his intelligence, but they don't do it at all justice. And I can't fathom the idea of
that
where is
part
his
with his
limit?
dad was like, "Hey, just so you know, you were my best creation."
Oh yeah, that was that one
Right.
little heart.
That was
stuff.
I think that was supposed to answer everything. Like, oh, that's why.
After he just
he
got done
knows
yelling at his younger
absolute-
version too.
Absolutely
Get outta here.
anything, everything.
Yep.
So my
Fingering through that notebook of fucking
the
equations and formulas, like do.
So building off of my blacksmith commentary, and by the way, I completely glossed over that idea when I watched Iron Man 1 because I was okay with it.
Yeah.
Somehow they suspended my
It
problems with it in that one.
It
But the
worked.
second they did it again with someone not Tony Stark, I was like, okay, how many people know how to fucking blacksmith this shit? And secondly, where the fuck is Vanko getting his materials? Because Stark had to take it off of fucking missiles.
Yeah. He had to take it off his own shit.
Yeah.
Where's this guy getting it from?
That's what I was like. And he's in a house.
Doesn't matter. We saw the blueprints with his name on it and Stark's
Well,
name.
not to
name.
mention
That's all they showed.
not to
us.
mention when they
so
talk
that was
about
supposed to be like a document of
when they talk about
confirmation.
Vanko,
Yeah.
he's just a physicist. Just
Yeah, that was the other part.
just
He's just
a
a physicist.
physicist.
How the fuck does he know how to build this shit? Blacksmithing. Again,
Right.
I don't know how
Oh.
a physicist would know how to blacksmith anything.
revenge, the passion of revenge for his father.
Right.
He pulled it. He
the
pulled it out of
almighty
his ass.
revenge.
I could not get past the first 40 minutes of like all the shit that they let Mickey Rourke get away with as a character.
Right.
Like when he goes to Monaco, somehow he's like on the tarmac of the race, like in a fucking suit.
Yeah.
And like no one notices this guy. Like these people are probably like
Well, he was dressed up like a pit stop crew or whatever
and
it
it's
is.
like
The pit
these
crew.
guys should fucking recognize that he's not one of the fucking
You would
team members.
think.
Yeah. And then he
it's
just
not
like,
like he's a small dude.
and like he just fucking walks out on the raceway. Like
Yeah.
nobody fucking stopped him.
I will-
Yeah, 3 cars go by him before he does anything.
Yeah, yeah. As soon as he walks out there, because nobody tries to stop him,
Yeah.
is exactly the issue.
He
I
walks
have
out,
too.
And I
and who
thought-
cares?
I had a lot of these same thoughts when I first saw it in the theater back in the day. I was like, oh my God, I am not entertained by this.
Let's talk about. What do you?
One
say?
last thing about the story. the whole will they won't they thing they set up with Pepper and Tony Stark, they were just like, let's get this done. Let's fucking get this done. They didn't even fucking give that any love or compassion in this movie. That kiss on the roof,
Yeah.
they were just like, let's get this over with.
Yeah.
One last comment about
That's all there is to be said about that part of the
I'll
movie.
make one last comment about Monaco. When he actually gets his suit on and he's fighting Vanko, he punches him in the face. Vanko is only wearing ostensibly an exoskeleton. He's not wearing a full suit. So Iron Man
He didn't
hits
have
him
a helmet.
dead in the mouth.
No, he
Yeah.
didn't. Yeah, he just had a vest.
Hit him
and
dead
that
in the
was-
fucking mouth with his gauntlet on.
Mm-hmm.
Are we to assume he's pulling his punches?
No,
the
we're
middle of
we're
battle,
to
or
assume.
we
We've
just
seen
assume
Rocky
that-
4. Russians are tough.
Yeah, I was gonna say, can we just assume that Mickey Rourke can take that kind of a hit?
especially during a montage.
You're right.
That was the other part about
Yeah,
Monaco. I was
I
like,
didn't-
really?
yeah,
Like
that-
you just dead ass like hit him in the mouth, and he went.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
in fairness, he did spit blood out, which is probably the only
But
justification
wasn't
I
that from
can
the
give
car?
it.
Wasn't
I
that
don't
from
know.
the
Actually,
five?
no.
Wasn't that from the 5 times Happy hit him with the fucking car?
You know, that probably. Well, it
I
was
suppose.
after it was after he got punched
Jesus
though, and then he got
Oh,
carried
maybe, I
away.
suppose.
But he got hit first before he got punched.
That is a good point.
Yeah,
He got
so-
ran into a fucking fence in a car.
And
like,
again, only wearing like an exoskeleton
Yeah.
over his chest. It's not covering the rest of his body.
That's internal
his
bleeding.
pelvis should have been shattered.
yeah,
In the terms of what Jason just said, Russians are tough,
yeah.
and you know what? It's
It's all the poverty.
All the vodka.
I was gonna say it's
and
all the
poverty.
vodka. Yeah,
That too.
It's all the potatoes.
Vodka and poverty. It's all that starch.
All right.
Toss son of the bitches right there. Hey, we're cooks. We know how to work with starch.
What were you gonna get at?
I don't
so
fucking
we
know
veered
now.
you off.
Before I went to the love story, you were about to transition to something.
In Russia,
All right.
vodka
Basically,
drives you.
this movie didn't have the heart or the connection or the story well told like the first one.
You can tell that they were trying to drive somewhere. Yeah, but
Yeah.
what?
It
Yeah, I
was a
don't-
vehicle for
and-
like certain small plot points
Oh,
that they were just
oh.
trying to move forward.
Yeah.
This answers your question from last episode. You said, would this movie be as good as it is if they knew they were going to build a universe? This is your
There you
proof.
go.
At this point, this movie, network heads were in there pissing off Jon Favreau. I mean, like, you need to add more Shield guys because it's going to mean more in the Avenger movies, the Avenger
Yeah.
movie upcoming.
Yeah.
So you need to add more of this setup to these upcoming movies. And that's why Favreau does not direct the third one because he was fucking,
He was done with it.
he was
It
pissed.
was like you just
So much
wanted hands off,
friction,
yeah.
so much friction with the higher ups. So network head, studio, whatever,
Yep.
ruin this fucking movie. And with their
Which
notes,
they usually do.
with their notes
Usually,
of like, and it was rewrites while they were shooting type of thing.
Oh.
Yeah, so
are
like the
probably the
worst
worst,
case
yeah.
scenario with that.
Well,
So
at least,
I think
at least
that
we
has a lot
understand
to do
now
with it.
why it wasn't as good. And
Yeah.
like I said, not to discredit Justin because he is a
Right.
really talented writer.
And he had to deal with the higher ups,
Yep.
the fucking with his story.
Yep. I
And
can only imagine.
and I think that answers your question.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, because
And so
had a-
at this point, they already
Yeah.
had an understanding of where they wanted to
Yeah,
go, but
I
it wasn't.
really thought it was going to
wasn't
be
there
later
yet.
than this movie, but no, they made one movie that was cool, and they're like, "All right, we got
Let's
this for
do
the next
this.
20 years."
Yeah.
Fuck. Anyways.
Avengers assemble.
well, they even. I mean, if you look at like, not putting the Hulk in here anywhere, but like if you look at the cutscene from the Hulk, you've got Robert Downey Jr. showing up talking about the Avengers. So it already started once they knew they were doing Iron Man and they were doing the Hulk. Like they had already kind of started thinking about going further than that.
Yeah,
But
Yeah.
I
it
think
was
that's
just,
also the point of the post credit scene is like you don't have to commit
Ooh.
necessarily if you decide not to.
I
So-
did want to bring that up about the post-credit scenes from the last one to this one, but what were you
Yeah.
gonna say? 'Cause you
I
got
was
excited.
just like examples of like the studio forcing in more Shield moments. When that annoying guy, not
Coulson?
yeah, he goes. Tony Stark's working on his whatever. Coulson shows up. Hey, I just wanted to stop by and say goodbye. Going to New Mexico. That was such a forced scene, waste of time.
Yeah.
It's set up.
Like, what was
And
the
there
point
was
of
so
that?
many. There was like 3 or 4 of them. Like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Now that I know this fact, it's so
It
clear.
was just to introduce the
Yeah.
Captain America
I was gonna
shield.
say,
yeah.
that's-
yeah,
that-
and
Which
make
was
a little joke. That was
stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't even the real shield.
No,
it was just like a
what is
like
this doing here?
and he uses
It's
it to
like-
level out his fucking thing.
It's like a part of the shield or like something.
it's a mock-up, I think, or like a prototype before they had the vibranium one.
Yeah, okay. So
there's
that
no
wasn't
way he would just-
vibranium.
There's no way he would just let vibranium sit around and not use it for something.
Well, I thought the joke was like, because Colton was like, "Do you know what this is?" Like, I
Well, he was
thought
like,
he was
"Why do you have
implying this
this?"
is like important shit. And then the joke was he was going to use it to level that thing.
well, and the
Yeah.
Coulson thing, like in the
So
Avengers
the
movie,
joke-
you learn
I
how much
make-
of a fan of Captain America he is.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
it-
yeah.
That is
That's
true.
right. He is okay. Yeah, I forgot
So that's
about that.
character play for
I
him.
forgot
I
about
guess,
that.
but-
Yeah, because that's
know.
annoying in the future.
Now, I will say this is like the moment where we get the sense of Shield. We get Coulson.
Mhm.
I like the guy as
Clark Gregg. Yeah,
yeah,
that
like,
character
well,
I like.
Yeah, I like the character. I like Coulson as he is.
Coulson. Okay.
Not
Yeah.
without. Now we're not going to talk about the Agents of Shields, but
Yeah.
this is what I like. I like his little cameo parts because he adds like this weird, I don't know, pan-faced comedic relief.
Yeah. With this
Anytime
weird.
he's
He's a
involved.
great straight man that people
Yeah.
can like act off of.
Yeah.
He's always smiling but not smiling.
Yep.
That's just
I
his face.
I know,
It's
and I
his
hate
face.
it. I'm sorry. I'm the opposite of you guys. I find him fucking annoying. But I'm glad
That's
you.
fair.
Yeah, I like. Yeah. Oh, I hear Selena with Chapman.
And now that I know that information,
I
and
hear
like,
that too.
so many unnecessary scenes.
It's like
Land
join
of
your team. Or
Enchantment
is
is
it?
what I've heard.
Yeah. It's like, oh, thanks for joining us. It's like, we need you. He was like, yeah, you wouldn't do it without me. He's like,
More
well,
than
not that bad.
More than you know.
Yeah.
Not that much.
Not that much. It's just contradicted what they just said.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So we all kind of agree with the that story wasn't the best. Now we
Yeah.
understand why.
Yeah.
Totally understand
and
why.
like I said, once we got past Monaco and everything, like I kind of sat back and I just for some reason I was able to enjoy the latter half of the movie.
Yeah.
And like,
Well, that's where the CGI fights and Mickey Rourke gets got kidnapped or
Yeah.
I don't
So
know.
wait,
Things start
that's
moving
what I was
forward.
wanting to bring up earlier. So Mickey Rourke, like he's playing Whiplash. Now Whiplash is technically supposed to be Blacklash.
Okay.
And
Backlash or Blacklash?
Blacklash.
Okay. That sounded oddly racist.
And so apparently there's, in the comics at least, there's supposed to be a previous character. Now, I'm not trying to compare the comics or anything, but I did not care at all
Oh no.
for Whiplash. I didn't.
No.
I did not
He's the
care.
garbage character.
He was a
He's
garbage character, and honestly, not to hate on Mickey Rourke, because I'm not like a huge fan, but I don't dislike him either. I just couldn't stand him being his Russian accent was terrible.
This is Mickey Rourke right as he
so
started
out
to
of-
look weird.
He's so out of place.
He was so out of place.
This is definitely after the movie Wrestler, right?
Oh yeah,
Had to be around the time at
because
least.
Wrestler came out in like 2006.
Because this is kind of
I
his
think.
comeback in those whatever.
Yeah, the Wrestler,
and
was
Wrestler
really like
worked,
the
but it was
start of
so
his comeback. In
it
his
was-
career.
yeah. But
He's
yeah,
way
he
too
was
tan to
so
be
out
Russian,
of
first
place
of
in
all.
this movie. Terrible villain. Didn't care about his whips and his backlash. I'm giving him backlash.
His death scene, like the whole fight.
Oh my God.
The
It ended
30
so
seconds
abruptly.
he fought with his whips at the end, and then he just blows himself up, like, was so dumb.
Yeah,
Like the
And
drone.
he acted as if this was the plan the entire
Right.
time.
The
And
drones
then they just
were
fly
cooler.
away right away.
the drones were cool.
Yeah,
The drones were much cooler and more of a threat.
That shit was fun like a video game.
Then fucking Whiplash or
Yep.
Backlash, whatever the fuck
It's
his name is.
Whiplash, but
Whiplash.
in
Yeah.
the movie.
And Jason's giving him backlash because he wasn't Blacklash and he's supposed to be,
Right. But yeah, like
which is his
I need
ash
a-
lash
I
at
need
this
a cigarette.
point.
I need to ash.
he's like he's in the previews. I remember he's the villain of the movie,
Yeah.
Yeah, but
and he does fuck all.
no.
Yeah. Well, there's an underlying villain that is the bigger villain, but he's the prevalent
But he's
villain that we see.
You mean
he's put in
Hydra,
the
or should we
trailers
not?
as being the villain.
Yeah, he's that problem. Well, what it is? It's supposed to be like it's supposed to be the government. It's supposed to be the United States. Like it's
Oh,
supposed to be
yeah.
everyone
Yeah.
other than the people who are trying to do justice.
Nothing.
That's the
everything
underlying-
tries
And
and fails
honestly,
and falls
like-
flat in this movie.
And
Yep.
then what did he do at the end?
Basically, the
He
government.
did the same fucking thing Jeff Bridges does.
Yes.
Why the motherfuck?
That's what
are
I
we
said.
Just having another guy just make the suit again.
Yeah.
It didn't fucking work the first time. We saw him get defeated,
Yep.
and now Tony's got this new core. Why the fuck is it a big deal at all?
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least in the first one, the cores weren't that advanced. So
No.
like there was like a level of like intensity to it.
Well, they bring that up in the movie too. About well now you were the only one, you were original, but now there's these other guys, and they're like
years away from.
yeah, oh,
yeah.
you said they were
And he's
20 years
defects.
away, but here he is now. And oh, by the way, that guy survived.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Samro
Like turn
trying to
left.
save face. But
Yeah.
I did like how Tony Stark hacked the fucking thing and showed the truth to the people
By the
because
way-
the court Supreme Court or whatever I think
He
they
was
was trying to be.
congressional committee.
They were trying to
Yep.
fucking lie and like have Rhodey read things out of context and shit
Yep.
like that. And I did like that part of the movie because they were making fun of that aspect of
Yep.
how our life is
Yep.
governed.
Can I ask a quick question? What is with all the fucking flip phones? Tony Stark is
2010.
Tony Stark has a fucking smartphone that can hack into
That's actually a very
random
valid
TVs.
point. Yeah.
And then halfway through, like fucking
Not to mention
Pepper's-
he has his own helmet
Yeah,
that talks
Pepper's
too. So.
using a fucking flip phone. I swear a couple other people use a fucking flip
Yeah,
phone.
Happy.
He's got a Palm Pilot with like a lid and a stylus.
Yeah,
what
no
the
shit.
fuck is happening with all
That's
this weird ass
2010
random
or
tech?
maybe 2009, but while they were shooting, but
Yeah,
I don't know.
but
That was
very valid
leftover.
point,
But
actually.
smartphones
That was
aren't a thing at
leftover
that
phone
point.
devices that they could use
Yup.
for props in the movie. They found in boxes.
I saw that at one point. I was like, why the fuck is he using a flip phone?
Hey, in all fairness, I held on to my flip phone for as long as I could,
Mm-hmm.
and that was at least until about 8
That was
years
like
ago.
2004.
I was like, yeah, but
Nope.
if you were like a billionaire genius or like, a government agent, they'd probably want you to have like something a little more advanced than a flip phone.
Yes.
I'd be
Alright.
willing to bet.
Yes.
But yeah, Mickey Rourke blows up. That fight was short-lived, abruptly ended. But the
So
best case
stupid.
you get out of it is Warhammer. Is that his name?
War Machine?
War Machine.
War Machine.
You get
Warhammer.
that. you
Warhammer.
You
Who
get
the
their
fuck?
Other thing.
they're quick little. It's so rushed.
It's
This
other
movie.
nerds.
It's so rushed. They're quick little forgiving banter, bro moment before the droids show up, and that's all you get. You get that new character, that new sidekick or whatever from that battle, and then they try to he tries to blow up Iron Man. They just fly away as fast as Superman, and then he goes and gets Lois Lane and kisses her on the roof. That was such a Superman-ish moment with the music and everything. And you remember cool things about music? I got nothing to say about that on this motherfucking episode.
The only thing is they kind of took it from the other one where they had the hard rock that kind of fit with Tony's persona a little bit.
All the hard rock, I guess, is
classic rock, not
mostly
hard rock.
mostly AC/DC songs because that's Tony Stark's favorite band, I guess.
Yeah.
But the music sucked. It was sorry. It was sorry, John Debney, but it was just scored to be a superhero movie.
It's the line from Airheads. For all you know, it could have been Pip farting on a snare drum.
Yep. Okay, here's the big question then. Like, from the first film to now, where did we see this progression? Where do we see this connection? Where do we see this going?
This isn't in seasons, episodes have filler episodes.
Yeah.
That's all this is.
Okay.
And like I said before, it's a vehicle to push certain plot points forward.
That's
Otherwise,
why I call
it serves
filler,
no purpose. Like it's basically to push the relationship between him and Pepper. It introduces War Machine and
introduces
Natasha. Yep. And it kind of like bleeds a little bit into the Avengers Initiative, especially with the cutscene.
Well, it introduced a lot of
conversation
shields. So basically,
with
in
Nick
my
Fury at the end.
Yeah, in my opinion, this was basically you get shield understanding where they're becoming a little bit more prominent.
This is them expanding the MCU.
Yeah.
Right away.
Yep.
But it pisses me off because Favreau and the writer were pissed because the studio execs came in, made that happen with all the shield shit, and they were pissed because they just said like the story doesn't make any sense now. Like I'm so curious what the original script was, or you know, like they probably had a cool fucking
do petition.
awesome
20 years
belated
later.
Release the original.
But yeah, I'm pretty sure Rotten Tomatoes for the first one was 100%. This one is 72, and I usually don't agree.
Big difference.
Yeah, but I would say like 60. I fucking like this movie like 65%.
Comparatively, this movie was trash.
Yeah. The end credit scene. So as far as we have right now, every Marvel film has a post credit scene.
Yep.
At least if not 2.
Right.
If not 3, I don't know.
Sometimes,
who knows? But yeah, they have post credit scenes, and the last one we had was what? Do you guys remember?
It was Nick Fury introducing himself to Tony Stark.
Yeah.
In his house.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's waiting for him when he gets home.
And this post credit scene, what was it?
They're in the
Thor's
warehouse
hammer.
or whatever.
No, Thor's
It
hammer.
was Thor hammer.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
I
that was the whole.
I thought the very ending of the movie was the cutscene.
Yeah.
That was the whole purpose of Colton is I'm going to New Mexico.
Yeah, Coulson's going to New
And
Mexico.
now you
That's
know
him
why he went to New Mexico.
looking at the crater where Thor's hammer.
So it's just a setup for
you get the shot of Mjolnir right as it cuts out.
It's a setup for the next movie, which is Thor.
Yep. Which literally came out a year later.
Yeah.
So at the time that they were filming, or when Iron Man came out, they were already filming
Thor.
Yeah.
Thor. So that's kind of cool. But the one thing that I wanted to bring up about this was that connection, because throughout the film, you may get a couple things here and there, some Easter eggs or whatever, but it seems to be a running thing that the post-credit scenes are what sets up for everything else.
Yeah.
And the
That's
entire
the
film,
teaser.
Yeah, it's the teaser. Everything else in the film really doesn't do that, and it's just that last little bit that does it. So that's where I think that we need to start paying attention to those scenes.
I feel like Guardians of the Galaxy. We'll get to
Howard. I don't know what.
Oh yeah, they did Howard
Yeah,
the Duck
Howard
thing.
the Duck.
Yeah, maybe not always, but
Yeah.
you know what I mean. Like so far, this is what
No,
we're
I feel you.
seeing. Is they're setting up for the next thing.
Well, they planned for Howard the Duck, but they just can't get the script right or the right director. It just keeps fucking starting and stopping, and then COVID happened.
That's probably
And
because it was considered the worst film of all time.
Well, that's
George
irrelevant.
George Lucas made it though. I mean, you'd think that someone would be like, I can do it better.
I don't care. I like that.
I
film.
enjoyed Howard the Duck. Yeah,
I
think
loved
it's
it.
great.
I grew up watching that movie. I
Right.
love that movie. Except for Leah Thompson.
Yeah,
Like,
she's the one I didn't like.
She's way too seductive.
She was really going for that duck.
Yeah, and the whole underwear or bed scene was stupid.
Yep. She wanted to
Maybe
Yeah.
she finds a condom in his wallet.
come of some young duck.
All I have left to say is, if you guys want to know why Terrence Howard isn't in the film, I think I have the answers. Because
Yeah, what is it? We talked
guessing-
about
money
that.
thing for sure.
It was a money thing, right?
Yes.
He wanted more money, yeah.
So Favreau asked him to take a pay cut to be in the sequel, and he wasn't having that shit because he was the first one to be casted in Iron Man 1, so he was the highest paid actor. And then, yeah, he just didn't respond. He did not respond well to Favreau saying, you got to take a pay cut if you want to be in this movie.
Wow, you got to take a pay cut, because you're the sidekick.
Yeah.
And he didn't take well to that?
Yep. Because
Yeah.
what I
Robert
was saying,
Downey
because
Jr.
he
is
was
the
coming
biggest
off
thing
as,
on the face of the planet, and he thinks he's better.
because in other rumors or whatever, what it seems to be the case is he was coming off as high horse from winning some award from Hustle and Flow.
Hustle and Flow.
So
Which
so
I've
he
never
felt
seen.
he
To be
deserved.
honest.
Oh,
I thought it was
it's
good.
a
I liked
great
it.
movie
I've
as
never
a
seen it.
hip hop fucking.
I know what it's
eh,
about.
Oh,
Never seen it.
Just thinking about it warms my heart.
All right, I'll give it. I'll give it a go.
I don't
It's
know.
worth
It
a
might
watch.
not be
It's
your
good.
shit,
Yeah, I'll give it a
but-
go.
I've only watched it once, but I thought it was good.
and it's not because of him by any means. He does
just
great
good-
in
it's
it,
just
but
good-
it's well written
well-written.
story, and yeah,
Yep.
Yeah. Everybody in that movie acts very
yeah,
well.
fuck
All right.
yeah.
Even
All right, well.
Ludacris.
But I really got nothing left
Even
to
the
talk
white guy
about.
from
DJ
New Guy.
Qualls.
Yeah,
I don't know why I know his name.
it's hard to take that guy serious. It wasn't until Supernatural that I'm like, I like this guy.
Even then, he was like a fucking.
He was a
comedic
fucking
character.
weirdo. Yeah, he was a fucking weirdo. but-
Marmaduke, you so crazy.
Yeah, but I liked him in that. So, yeah. So overall, the next film is Thor, and overall in this one, we're just looking for something a little bit better.
And I, if I recall, which I had a lot of memories when I saw the hammer, I was like, oh yeah, that's right. He kind of has amnesia or whatever the fuck. I remember liking Thor a lot more than Iron Man 2. I did not like Iron Man 2 when I saw it back in the day. I wasn't fooled back then, and I'm less fooled.
I think I
Now.
think because I don't really remember much, but I think I agree with you.
Yeah, I remember really, really liking Thor 1.
I mean, I still love it. It's still entertaining, but yeah,
yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, yes,
It's-
I do.
for the sake of what it was.
Yeah,
And then yeah, Thor I absolutely love, but we'll talk about that
yeah.
Next week.
next week. So
Now let's get into some romantic conversation.
I wish I had some like fluttering noises.
Oh,
Yeah, sure we can find him.
So
I'll have to add that in post.
Some harp noises, playing a
Fucker.
little
I need to add more to my editing time.
cupids flying
But you're
around.
not wrong.
Doo, doo. Those are love arrows. Doo.
Cupid's arrow. Right between the eyes.
So our romantic films of this week.
Ooh
And
la la.
we're gonna start with Aram. We'll just keep
Yeah.
that going. So last week, if you haven't heard of it, check it out. We did. What was yours
Last
again?
week I was. Last week I put out Some Kind of Wonderful, A Midsummer Night's Dream, and Meet Joe Black.
You Joe Black. And Jason, you did.
Her? Her Destination Wedding and Poetic Justice.
And I did The Crow, Serendipity, and The Notebook. So, all right. Now
Yeah.
that we're up to date, go for it, little romance lover. You.
Go forth. So the first one, I gotta go with Up.
Yeah,
the
they made it
movie's
up,
like a
yeah.
love letter to his wife. Like that's all he's doing is trying to get the house over there so that he can complete the trip she wanted as a child.
Let's be real. He was hoping that it would take him to heaven, so he
I
could
mean,
meet her.
yeah, he knew he wasn't long for this earth, so he was just trying to get one last thing done.
Look at that house. That house was not
Delusional
built.
or not, full of heart.
Yeah.
This movie. That
Definitely
movie
a
is-
labor of love was what he was doing.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, it was a good movie.
Yeah.
It made me cry.
Yeah.
I teared.
that
Yeah.
beginning should make everyone cry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It made me tear.
It's very
Um,
powerful for
Heartless
animation.
bastards out there not crying.
Fucking Pixar just getting the shit out of the way like in the beginning
Heartless.
instead of
Fake ass fuckers, you're pretending, holding back tears. Let it go.
Right? These are the
Let them
people.
drip.
These are the people who fucking chew gunpowder for tobacco.
That seems very. Anyway,
seems
back to
mighty
you, Aaron.
dangerous.
Hence my point.
So I gotta go with that. I mean, it's not your classic romance, but
What
I mean,
year
it's-
did it come out?
um,
Yeah,
I didn't know I was gonna have to have fucking information.
Oh, sorry.
about these.
We tacked on years last
2009.
episode, so
Yep.
I got them prepared
That's
this
my bad.
time.
2009.
2009.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then
God, is that old already?
It's older
Fuck.
than Iron Man 2.
Wow. I don't
Damn.
remember it being that old.
Right? Me neither.
yeah, I didn't. Damn.
Seems like it was only like 10 years ago.
13.
I know. I'm saying it feels like it was only 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because that's when I watched it.
Maybe.
I probably
right.
didn't watch it when it came out.
I don't know if I saw that in the theater. I don't think
I definitely
so.
did not.
I don't think so. But I was a Pixar. Yeah.
Yeah.
Back then, I was watching all Pixar shit.
Right. So after that, I have The Family Man
Ooh,
with
yeah.
Nicolas Cage.
Was that with
Yeah.
him and Arrows?
No,
What?
that's The Weatherman.
Okay.
That's what,
The Family
This is
Man-
Don Cheadle. And
Don Cheadle and
Ooh.
Taya Leone.
Yeah. Which
It's
I actually find her attractive in that.
it's
Something
your-
very.
Who?
Taya Leone, Madam Secretary.
Oh.
Yeah.
That lady's fucking. She's amazing. She's attractive. And she's awesome and everything.
Yeah, but
Russian.
it's basically a redoing of It's a Wonderful Life. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
It's
it
essentially-
really is. Yeah, it's essentially
Yeah.
it's like this rendition of it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree with you. on
Same
that.
basic premise, at least. Like
Yeah.
it's, the
Basically,
the
during
angel
Christmas time,
the
yeah.
angel showing what your life would have been like.
He wears a sweater.
It's like it's almost like it's a little less like towards like Scrooge and
It's like this weird happy medium.
yeah, because it's like him getting off his high horse because he's
Mm-hmm.
fucking up here thinking, oh, I didn't need any of this bullshit.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, well, what if you did? This is what
Yeah.
you'd be missing
What,
out
what
on.
if you'd chosen this path instead of the other one? Like,
and then and he finds out he loves that one more than he likes his life.
it's
now,
not a
yeah.
matter of like if you existed or not. It's a matter of he even says like the road less traveled. Like
Yeah.
this is I took this road. So what happens if you choose the other way?
Yeah. Dave Chappelle makes a cameo in that too.
Does he?
He plays his like
Fuck.
friend.
I know I've seen it, but it
Oh,
was
word.
so long
Yeah.
ago. What year was that?
2000 actually. So it's
Holy
that old.
shit.
it's an older movie.
I've always enjoyed that movie.
It's
though.
a great movie,
Yeah.
and actually, like I actually tear up at the end when he's talking to her in the airport and trying to convince her to stay, like
Oh,
just
yeah.
to have coffee with him.
Yep.
When he talks about the family and everything like that. But yeah, I really enjoy. It's probably one of my favorite Nick Cage movies.
Okay.
One of. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not like in the realm of Nick Cage, but like it's like a
It's
a
the
lesser known one.
He oddly enough, he did a good job for him not being a film that you would see him doing.
action or fucking,
Yeah, like
Yeah,
it,
he's not even over the top in anything.
No.
Like he has like one moment where he's singing opera in the beginning.
yeah,
But, like,
yep.
that's
And
Do you
about-
in
think
his
he's
underwear.
really singing?
Yeah.
Or is
Yeah.
it somebody?
like-
is he lip
He's
singing?
just bellowing. He's just he's just
Oh.
like bellowing out, but
He's doing
like in
what
his
you
underwear.
and I would do to like
Oh,
sing Figaro.
Yeah,
jokingly.
But there's one saving grace as well. Although I think that's a great movie as well. Is Jeremy Piven, because I love that guy.
That's right. He
Did
is
he
in this
really?
movie. I'd
Yep.
forgotten
You
about
love
that.
him.
Yeah.
I love Jeremy Piven ever since PCU.
Oh God,
That
I
was
love
the film-
PCU.
that
It's
was
a
the
great
film-
movie.
Yep, that was a film that
I've
just.
been a fan since Very Bad Things.
I think PCU came out before that. So
Yeah,
I have-
because David Spade's like a child, and
I'm
PCU.
remembering that you've told.
John Favreau.
That's one of your.
John Favreau's a child in
Yeah.
that movie. Yeah,
he's just a
Yeah.
really, really, really big child.
Yeah.
With dreadlocks.
I think Jake Busey is one of the
Yep.
hotheads.
Yep. We're not talking about that though.
There's
We're
a
not
lot.
talking about that.
We'll go on to that movie a different day. So last movie I got is My Big Fat Greek Wedding.
Oh,
I've never seen
I
it.
love that.
that is a
movie.
damn good movie. It's pretty fucking funny too.
I
isn't
never
it?
watched the sequel, but yeah, the first one, like the father, he actually, the guy who played the dad recently just died. Like within the last couple months, I believe. I think he was like in his 80s. But like, yeah, I took a girl I was dating in high school to see it, which is an odd choice, but it was whatever. Yeah,
Selfish choice. No, just kidding.
I mean, Joey Fatone's in it. He's kind of funny in the little bits he does.
I'm surprised you haven't seen it.
Yeah, I've never seen it.
Yeah, Fatone's in it.
Honestly, it's probably because like it didn't really look that appealing to me when it came out, and I
Yeah.
just kind of
John
But you-
Corbett, I believe his
had-
name is.
You had to have heard that. It's good though throughout the years, right?
yeah. But I heard the
Whoa,
same thing
don't
about
get
the traveling pants,
self-defensive.
and I'm not gonna fucking watch that. Which
Seen
is
it,
lies.
didn't
I've
care
Write
for
it down. Watch it.
I've seen the Yaha sister.
Are you able to see if it's streaming anywhere on your current screen? If not, I don't
I'll
care.
figure it out. I'll watch
Yeah.
it. I'll watch it by
It's-
next week. I promise.
Yeah, it's worth
Whoa.
a look.
Oh, okay. No reason to hold yourself that accountable.
No, I will. I'll watch it. I'll watch it by next week.
It's super cute. Like it's just a nice like love story.
I'm sure it's something that I can watch with the girlfriend and
the,
she'll
the
like
worlds collide sort of premise, like because she's trying to marry an American and her father is very Greek.
Very Greek.
Yeah. They make many jokes about how Greek he is, and
I mean,
it's just
He's so Greek. He looks like
it's
an
all in the
olive.
title.
Yeah, kind of. He's the old guy from Thinner, like the gypsy that curses him.
Oh,
in
really?
Thinner.
That's the dad?
That's the dad.
Oh,
So it's
okay.
that guy.
What are you touching over there?
PCU. Sorry, just keep talking.
Just start grabbing.
But yeah, John Corbett is actually really good in this movie. Like
And he's the main actor, right? He's the husband.
He's the husband,
Yeah,
or like
'cause
who becomes the
he was
husband.
in Serendipitous.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
Serendipity. Sorry,
Yeah.
Serendipity. He played the romance or the fiance or wannabe fiance of Kate Beckinsale.
Oh, word.
He was the new age musician, playing his fucking pan flute or whatever.
But yeah, really, I mean, the dad and the leading lady, who's Nia Vardalos, those two are the funniest part of the movie. Like those two interacting and like the dad being upset that she's marrying an American and her trying to prove that like he's okay, like trying to like get everything to work out. It is just a really easy to watch, fun movie, and like it's not super like high stakes in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, it's got some quirkiness to it, I believe. Yeah.
And then part of that is because
Cute
like,
quirkiness.
they make fun of like being Greek, like they own a Greek restaurant.
The movie knows what it is.
When did this come out?
This came out in 2002.
Okay.
Directed by Joel Zwick. Oh, it was written by Nia Vardalos too.
Nice.
So the actress that plays the lead role wrote the movie. That's
Fuck
interesting.
yeah.
I didn't know that part.
Well, it'll be watched by this weekend.
For sure. Yeah.
All right, then.
So those
As
are
long as
mine.
I can find it.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Jason, hold on. Out of those three, which would you say is your favorite, though?
Out of those three.
Yeah, I'm just curious.
Oh,
'cause-
yeah.
I would say I'd probably go with The Family Man because it probably gets the most emotion. Well,
You cry at that one.
I cried at that one. Fuck, I cried it up too, but who didn't?
I'll be
Oh,
right.
yeah.
Soulless bastards out there.
But yeah, I
taking
think-
advantage of my heartstrings.
I feel like I would probably go with The Family Man because it's such an understated movie, especially in like the realm of Nicolas Cage's repertoire. Like no one really remembers. It's like that, and like Trouble in Paradise is another Nick Cage movie that no one
Sell
remembers.
tires
Yeah, he pulls the bottle of whiskey out. He's like, "You must have needed this every day."
Fuck yeah.
But yeah, I would go with The Family Man for
Okay.
sure.
And you've never seen The Family Man?
I have.
Oh, you have. Okay.
Just
You
a
don't
long
remember
time
it.
ago
Okay.
back when it came
His
out.
memory is shot because he's
Because he needed that whiskey.
Yes.
Cool.
But I
Okay.
remember Nick Cage wears a sweater.
Cardigan.
All right, so my turn, Biatch.
Yeah.
Yes,
All right.
biatch. You go, girl.
I don't know which one to choose, but I'll
middle
start
one.
with what?
Said the middle one.
Fine, Groundhog's Day.
Hell yeah.
Love that movie.
I'm glad you guys agree. I wasn't sure if that was too comedy because the whole conclusion and why the looping never stops or the looping does stop because he found love with her, right? He became
He got off his high horse.
he became a good enough person for her to love him, and because in the beginning he was just trying to tap that ass.
Yep.
You know, all the wrong reasons, and when it clicked, it's at the end of the movie.
Which, by the way, I would not be interested.
And Andy McDowell?
No.
Nah. Nope.
I don't know. I like a lot of hair.
You may want to rephrase that at some point, but we'll
Just
go
think
with
about that lady. She has a lot of hair.
It's very poofy.
Mm-hmm. And it doesn't look greasy at all. But no, I
That's because she uses L'Oreal.
because I
Yes.
commercial reference.
Okay.
But yeah, 3/4 of that movie is straight just comedy all across the board. Obviously, Bill Murray's a fucking genius and comedy delivery and all that shit.
Yep.
But I heard somebody tell me, like, I heard it somewhere, like, how did he get the time loop to stop or whatever? And somebody was like, oh, I think he had to have the perfect day or something. I was like, it pissed me off. I was like, no, he found fucking love.
Yeah.
He became a good enough guy to
He
actually,
found something that was like better than himself.
Yeah.
to
Yeah,
change.
That's
yeah.
what it was.
He had to get over himself, realizing that it's not about him.
yeah. So
Yeah.
the romance and it's a small part of the movie, but I think
I'd still count it.
it's very important because that's how you get the conclusion.
Yeah, I love Groundhog's Day.
Me
Like,
too.
great movie.
I watched it so much, and that shit was 1993, and
This is the height of Bill Murray.
directed by Harold Ramis. I did
course.
not know that,
Yep.
but it makes so much
It
sense.
makes so much sense.
That's
yep.
fucking Caddyshack. That was his first movie. He's obviously in
He's
Ghostbusters.
Egon,
Yeah.
yep, Egon is in Ghostbusters. Yep.
Was Harold Ramis involved in any way, shape, or form with Saturday Night Live offhand?
No, I think
Or
that
was
was
he
more.
a-
no.
or
No,
he a
he was
National Lampoon guy?
he was
Yeah,
on the radio
National
show,
Lampoon,
and
okay.
yep.
I just
So he
wondered
was-
if like he had contact with Murray and Aykroyd before that or whatnot.
He was part of Doug Kenny's crew, and
Okay.
why SNL exists because
Sure.
they stole the
Yeah.
idea from Doug Kenny in a sense.
Yeah.
Just watch that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I almost brought it
Feudal
up, but
gesture.
I've already fucking.
Yeah.
I don't want to nag you like I do.
Like I do.
Oh yeah, camera,
right.
that guy. All
What's,
right. Goddamn notification.
what's the next one?
What do I want? I'll go with When Harry Met Sally.
Okay.
I've thought about that, but
I
I've
thought
only
about that one
I've only
too.
watched it like once.
I
It's a classic.
my mom. I grew up. My mom loved it, and I was just kind of like, what's the big deal? And then I finally sat down and watched it on cable. Just finally connected with it.
Mhm.
Great dialogue. The whole their arguments and the
Sure.
oh my god, it's just like Destination Wedding. They make really good points in their dialogue. Discussions of love and dating. You know,
The classic scene
It's-
of Meg Ryan screaming in the cafe.
Yep.
And you're like, I'll have what she's
I'll
having.
have-
yeah,
She's having-
and it's very funny and just well written, makes good points, and very 80s though. Holy shit!
Oh, yeah.
and it was 89, so
I do love Billy Crystal. So I mean,
and
it's-
that helps a lot. Meg Ryan, I could,
Meg Ryan.
she did
Meg
fine,
Ryan is her way through the
but
whole
I've
thing.
never been a fan of I've never watched a movie because she was in it type of thing.
Oh, absolutely not.
Yeah.
I'm right there with you. I'm not a
There's
fan.
only one movie I've actually really enjoyed.
And then, to my surprise as well, Rob Reiner directed that movie. I did not know that.
I feel
that
like him and
explains
Billy
why I
Crystal are
loved it.
like pretty good, pretty tight
Oh,
friends.
I would
Yeah.
hope so. They'll both seem like genuine good people.
Yeah.
yeah,
funny
you,
as fuck.
Yeah, you don't get a sense that they're being something they're not.
No.
This
Right.
is who they are.
Yeah.
And everybody says that Rob Reiner's the greatest guy. He's
Yeah.
a big-hearted guy. So, anyway, yeah, that's I definitely thought about that too on the list because
I say I'd considered it, but I'd only seen it the one time, and I just didn't feel like I could talk about it enough.
it was those two that came out with it was Tom Hanks with You Got
Sleepless-
Mail, right?
At the same time as
No. It
No,
was,
You Got
it
Mail
was,
came
you,
later.
You
Oh, the
came,
Sleepless in Seattle
and
came out around the same
Sleepless-
time as,
Yeah, Sleepless. Who
Sleepless-
was in that?
That
one?
was Tom
Hanks and Meg Ryan.
Meg Ryan. And also, it was You Got Mail.
Yeah.
Was
You Got
those
okay.
were in
was
the-
a
those
was
two.
a secondary one that they
Yes.
did together. Yeah.
Those two, but Harry Met Sally was. I compared those three, I guess.
Yeah.
Sure.
So
I forgot about
thought that's what you were
Sleepless in
getting at.
Seattle.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
They,
yeah.
No.
they're kind of like copycat or spin-offs or
Yeah. Yep.
Well, it was very formulaic in the '80s when you did shit
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
oh,
I mean, You've Got Mail isn't from the
It
'80s.
was
it's
in
all
the 90s, yeah.
formulaic.
Yep.
Like movie motherfuckers are like, oh, that shit worked. Let's make 20 more
Yeah.
of them
Yep.
and see what
But
sticks.
I guess because I forgot about Sleepless
Sleepless in Seattle.
Sleepless in Seattle.
yeah.
Fuck Seattle.
Right. Goddamn rain. Crow. That's where they made the movie Crow. I don't know.
Probably.
I'm just making rain jokes.
But that's those three I considered to be the triangle of like what we're just talking
Yeah.
about.
Yeah.
Yep. So
True.
the formula.
I just
Yeah.
kind of forgot about.
But I
Yeah.
didn't.
Oh,
I
for
did
sure,
not connect
Seattle.
with Sleepless Seattle.
No, I
at
don't
think I've
all.
ever-
Or
But You
what
Got
was the other
Mail.
one? You Got Mail. That was
Was good.
decent. That
Yeah.
was decent.
The whole, yeah, I like that one.
But yeah, but the dialogue and that stupid speech, that famous speech, I should say, it's not stupid. It's very concise. The whole why I love you, or I love when you're angry. I love your flaws. I love you when this, and like all these detailed reasons. I'm not going to quote the speech, obviously, don't remember it.
I
But
don't either, so don't
but I
feel
think
bad.
it's very well written and concise, and because every romantic movie has that confession of love or
Yep.
that moment of like,
Yep.
here we go, I fucked up, but now I'm gonna redeem myself in this speech.
Mhm.
And most of them don't go very well. You're just like, all right, this has to happen for me to, get to the end of the fucking movie. And this one has a better speech.
Yeah.
All right, moving on to something more modern. A Star Is Born.
Ooh.
Never watched it.
Bradley Cooper's debut directing, however you say that,
Directorial debut.
Thank you. Yeah, I watched it. Not a fan of Lady Gaga, or I know nothing about her. Basically, I am a fan of Bradley Cooper. I
Sure.
watched it on a day I just had nothing else to watch, and did not expect to like it as much as I did. But it has a old alcoholic guitarist or producer, whatever the fuck he is, and he was hilarious. And then Lady Gaga did amazing, and
Is Bradley Cooper basically channeling Jeff Bridges
from that movie,
from that one movie?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was trying to make
called
that
Wild Horse or something like that.
I can't remember
Or
it.
Wild Hearts.
Yes,
Something
yes.
of that nature.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy
trying to-
Crazy Heart maybe. I don't know. Some Jeff Bridges
I think
movie.
you're right. Crazy Heart. That
Yeah,
that sounds
I
right.
think that's
Crazy
it.
Heart.
I feel like it was like Bradley Cooper even grew the beard out and it was just
Yeah.
channeling Jeff Bridges.
You're absolutely right.
And I've never seen the movie. I saw a preview and I like even listening to his voice.
That
I was
movie, it's a little slowish and whatever, but I like it. Because the alcoholic guitarist and you're
not to-
right though. I was trying to make that comparison at work to you the other week, but I
Well-
couldn't remember the name.
What made that movie so fantastic as well
You're talking about
Yes.
Stars Born?
Yep.
Okay.
is that
like, no crazy.
Just
Heart.
make it clear for the list. Make it clear from the listeners.
is that,
You know how
that
we.
Bradley Cooper not only directed it,
Mm-hmm.
he helped write it, although it is, I believe, a remake.
Yeah.
And Cher was in the original, I think, but I don't remember.
I never seen the
Would not
original.
But
surprise
he
me.
helped write it. He helped, and he directed it, and he starred in it.
Mm-hmm.
But he also does his own singing,
Yeah.
and he learned to sing, and he learned to play guitar.
Yeah. It's
Jeff
just a
Bridges?
lot of authentic.
I hope not. Fucking, does he know how to play guitar?
Probably. I don't know.
Probably.
Well, don't ruin the joke with
But-
logic.
Yeah, and that's what like this was like by far.
Like he went all in.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
if he was gonna
Or
help
this
direct. He was gonna go
Yeah.
fucking all in on
This
it.
was probably Bradley Cooper's like he deserves.
He gave it all the
a
heart.
fucking star. He deserves all the
He
credibility.
won awards. He gave it all the heart, and it
Yep.
shows through the fucking screen
Yep.
for sure. It's very authentic
I'll
in
just
his
take a look at it. sometime.
performance.
Yeah, it was a great film. And
And-
yeah, same with Lady Gaga. I'm not a fan by any means, but she was great.
Yeah,
She had
She-
importance to it.
you
she did.
you watched that
phenomenal.
movie and you forgot she was Lady Gaga.
Yep.
She was that character in that fucking
And other than I've always given Lady Gaga respect because that woman
Yeah.
is talented. She is
And
an
she stands
incredible
on her
singer.
own.
Yep,
She-
she's
she's-
talented, but
she's a
fuck,
trendsetter and changed.
Yeah.
Gave
But the chemistry,
courage to a lot of female artists to
The-
be themselves.
the fucking chemistry
Right?
they had on that set was like
Mhm.
it was phenomenal.
But
It
that
was-
award show when he like gets wasted and pisses himself and shit, it's fucking. I don't know. Her disappointment and like I don't. It's that chemistry, that connection is so
Yeah.
deep.
Was she as disappointed as Pepper Potts was when Robert Downey Jr. gets drunk at the party?
Oh, that was one thing I forgot to talk about in Iron Man 2.
pretty close.
Fuck that scene. That whole birthday party scene, that stupid fight between him and Rhodey. Anyways,
And he
I
still
actually
was-
enjoyed that part. But
I didn't like it.
Yeah, I would say it's
It seemed
about as
forced.
close, but Lady Gaga's character was not afraid to punch him in the face, kind of thing.
Yeah.
so she did what Don Cheadle does, and
Basically. So if you were to combine Don
Nice.
Cheadle and Gwyneth Paltrow's characters together and create
Into
Lady
someone much
Gaga,
shorter.
yeah. So hey, what was
But-
your
2018 was Stars Born, and Tim, you're gonna ask me what my favorite one was?
Groundhog's Day.
It has to be.
Yeah.
That's,
it
I
has
mean,
to be.
Fucking called.
I
that.
love dialogue, but comedy is where it's at, and Bill Murray's the shit, and yeah, Groundhog
was-
Day. I
it was
watched that
great.
one a million times.
I wish
I've
he-
seen Harry and Sally 5 times, maybe.
I
Yeah.
wish Chris Elliott had more like
You're right.
lines in Groundhog's Day because
Yeah.
I loved Chris Elliott in Cabin Boy,
Yeah.
and I think he's hysterical.
Yeah.
So I wish he had more lines.
Hell yeah.
But yeah,
Chris Elliott's always every time he pops up, I'm just like, God, this guy's gonna be annoying, but he's gonna be fantastic at it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because he
That's-
does
that's
the greatest
his-
job
yeah,
at that.
He plays the like douchey, kind of awkward, annoying guy in everything. Like
Everything.
Scary
when-
movie. Scary
um,
movie too. Like I loved him
How I
as
Met Your
Something
Scary
About
Mother.
Mary.
Something
Oh,
about
yep.
Mary. Yep.
Yep. Like
Even as the brother in Ray Romano, the Everyone Loves Ray. No,
I don't
you
remember
never,
him
you didn't watch
being-
him. You didn't watch the.
I didn't watch a ton of Everybody
Chris Elliott
Loves
was
Raymond.
he was yeah. He is
'Cause-
the
Is he like his wife's brother?
Yes, that's who it is.
Okay.
I was just trying to
okay.
remember.
Like, he's not Brad Garrett.
No,
He's
no,
too
no.
short for one thing.
No, he's the wife's brother. The creepy. The wife's
Okay.
creepy brother. He has this big old fucking belly too,
Mhm.
and he like lives in a basement
Oh,
in the parents'
fantastic.
house as a 40-year-old man.
Yeah.
Yep, like
He's
he's just fantastic at everything he does.
He's a piece of shit father for the redhead in How I Met Your Mother, and he's just that's
For
scandalous.
Allison Hannigan.
Huh? Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So
The one film that I actually really enjoyed him in, he actually I thought did a decent job was it Gulliver's Travels?
oh wow, I
Like
haven't
a
seen that in a
film,
while.
yeah, the film that he was Gulliver.
Oh,
Yeah.
I remember him in
Is that
Cabin
like
Boy,
a TV
but
special or something?
It may have
Made
been
for
actually. Now I
TV, I
think about
think
made
it
for
was-
TV.
I
It may have been.
Yeah.
I remember
Yeah.
Ted Danson doing Gulliver's Travels.
I feel like it's been there's
Chris Elliott did Cabin Boy, which is like he runs into shit that like Gulliver might have. Like he runs into like a giant at one point. And
yeah.
and like he rides his girlfriend. He's riding his girlfriend, who's a swimmer, like into battle.
All right, I don't know.
I'm sorry.
Might have to watch this.
I'm definitely gonna have to check that out. It's been a long time since I've seen
All right,
that.
Aaron,
movie is
Aaron
so
literally just
fucking-
lost his shit for a second.
All
That
right.
movie is so fucking weird.
All right, Cabin Boy.
Taking that out.
God damn
All
it.
right, it's
Tim,
Mua's
your turn.
Save the best for
The
last.
boss turn. What'd you say?
Said Mua.
Muah. Ha ha ha.
My chest hurts from laughing that hard. God damn it.
So now it's my turn to pick whatever three. I'm gonna go with City of Angels
Legit.
because you had mentioned Nicolas Cage and Family Guy, and I had thought about Family Guy too. And but City of Angels.
Family Man, not Family Guy.
Sorry, Family Man. Not Family Guy.
Entirely different things.
That was a
Entirely
correction that was
different
very
thing.
necessary.
I'm sure they make fun of Meg
Probably.
Ryan at least. Yeah. So City of Angels was I had a hard time with the idea that it's more drama than it is romance, but
But it's definitely centered around love.
it's absolutely about love.
Yeah.
And I think the reason why that movie is always hit the mark with me is because it's sacrifice.
Yep.
So City of Angels is based off of a 1980s German film called Wings of Desire. And
Sounds like a porno.
it's nothing like it other than the concept of an angel falling in love with a human
Yeah.
and literally taking the fall, the plunge
Yeah.
from heaven to become mortal just to be with this
okay.
woman. Now,
Doesn't Meg Ryan die at the end of this movie?
yes, so this
Oh, okay.
is
Meg
what it is.
Ryan's in it. I've
This
seen it.
film makes me cry because of that. Is Nicolas Cage and Meg Ryan are the two main actors, and Nicolas Cage is the angel, and he's observing, he's watching humanity and all this stuff. He falls in love with Meg Ryan, and he takes the plunge and becomes human, and then he walks up on her front door like a fucking weirdo.
Yep.
And they hook up in this cabin or whatever, and then on the she wakes up early, leaves the cabin to go get groceries or some shit on a bike, and he's taking a shower for the first time in his life. She gets hit by a truck and dies.
Oh, that's right.
And I had nothing but my heart broke. I all the time. Anytime I fucking watch that movie, I get sad at that point.
I'm gonna be
Because
totally
it's-
honest. Never watched the movie.
Is this in 90? Is this from-
98, 1998
Okay,
is when
yeah. I
this movie
seen
came
it when
out,
I
yep.
was young as fuck. And yeah, that moment made me sad. But
Yeah.
I was so young, I didn't
It's-
even have emotions.
It's
then.
one of those things where Nicolas Cage isn't the greatest actor. Meg Ryan's not the greatest actress.
And
the
the
fat
Cage kind
guy
of
from
reminds me.
NYPD Blue is the
Yep,
greatest
which I can't
actor.
ever remember his fucking
Yeah.
name, but
Andre,
the guy with the
Andre
mustache?
Brower is in that.
Dennis
movie, too.
Franz. is
Dennis,
his
yeah,
name.
Dennis Franz.
Yeah.
Is Andre Brower in that movie too?
Oh,
Yes.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine
Yep.
guy?
Yeah, the Brooklyn
I love that guy.
That and Calm
Calm Me?
Fiore?
Colm Fiore.
Fiore? Yeah, is in it too. I remember him in
Can't remember his face offhand, but I know the name.
he was the bad guy in Riddick.
Ooh.
The second one. Yep. The Chronicles of Riddick.
Oh, the second.
Oh,
yeah.
yes.
But-
Okay.
But yeah, man, City of Angels, he always made me cry. That last scene, no matter what it is, it makes me cry because it's that
Oh,
sacrifice.
that's terrible.
It's he sacrifices himself for love.
Yeah.
and then his love gets taken away from him, and she becomes an angel now while he is mortal. I'm like, that is just fucked up.
I just,
Yeah.
That just
that's just
that is
life
just-
is not fair type
Yeah.
of shit.
Yeah.
Yep.
The Lord giveth and the Lord taketh
So,
away.
Windows and doors.
in a sense,
Yeah,
it's
windows and doors.
in a sense it's the suffrage that
Yeah.
I think I like the most.
I feel like probably the more iconic part of that movie is Iris by the Goo Goo Dolls. It's probably the most
Yeah.
iconic piece of that movie.
Yes,
Um,
they did write the because the whole video, their video was
It's-
based off of this film.
well, yeah, I mean, it's like
They made
Bar-
a song or all the whole.
no, just
Song.
one song,
Okay.
Iris.
Iris by Google.
I'm
If
sure
you
I
heard
heard
it,
it.
you know.
Oh
it.
yeah,
yeah.
you definitely
The
know it.
music
It was a
video, if
fucking
you
huge hit.
take the clips from the movie out, is literally the singer bouncing around this like essentially a
It's like a
planetarium.
tower. Yeah,
He's in a tower with
a
a telescope and like
telescope.
watching life going on, like, and he's looking at pieces of the movie,
yeah.
and so it's very like symbolic of like the way the song runs, and it's symbolic of the movie too.
Yep.
And of angels watching over, right? Yeah, just being high up,
Yeah.
watching over everything. Yeah.
But
All right,
basically,
moving
not
on.
having a life of your own to live and watching everyone else live
Yeah.
one.
Oh,
And that's the concept of the film. It's not just about love, but it focuses of why he took the plunge. It's,
mm-hmm.
he wanted to do it for love. So
Oh yeah.
but yeah, that would be my first film. Yep,
Mhm.
1998, Nicolas Cage, Meg Ryan, City of Angels.
Oh.
My second film is going to be The Holiday. And I've mentioned this
Never watched
before. It's a
Mhm.
romantic comedy.
Is it a Netflix?
I think
No, that's where I watched it on. Never mind.
Yeah, you may have watched it on something,
mind.
but
be on Netflix.
I watched it because
because I told you to watch
Yeah.
it, and I was right.
it's the one with Jack Black.
Yep,
Yeah.
Jack Black, Jude
Jude
Law,
Law.
yep,
Cameron
Diaz.
Who's the fucking brunette?
and then Kate Winslet.
That's who it was.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now I'm not a
I
fan.
knew there was a blonde and a brunette.
Yeah, I'm not a fan at all of Cameron Diaz, but there are a few handful of films that I like her as. I
She
really
plays-
don't like her, but
But it helps that her character in this movie is somebody you don't like
Oh,
because
well-
she's that fucking.
this is one of the few films that I'm like, yeah, absolutely, she's fine. Kate Winslet is probably the one I'm like, eh.
I like
Yeah.
Kate Winslet. Yeah.
I'm down.
But I
You ever watch her in Holy Smoke?
No.
It's a weird movie.
the thing about this film that I like the most is it's charming.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's a basic
It's very
romantic.
predictable,
Yeah,
but
it's
it-
a basic romantic comedy. There's nothing
Mhm.
special about it.
Yeah, I don't think it ever tried to be anything more
Yeah,
than
and
it
it
was.
was-
And I
and-
never watched the movie, but I
No.
remember the premise and stuff of it. I was like, this isn't going to be anything more than that.
But its charm is really what sells me on why it stands out compared to other films. It's just
Sure.
it's got such a charming cast. It's got such a charming story.
Yeah.
That old guy that Kate Winslet has to like makes friends with was fucking, I don't know. I like that whole thing. I mean, Jack Black making a little appearance too. Like, this is probably his first romantic comedy film he's ever done. And
Besides Shallow Hell.
that's not, wow.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Or Airborne.
I don't know if
That's not a romantic comedy.
I just like to bring it up.
Yeah.
I love that movie.
But yeah, and Jude Law cries like a little baby. I
I
don't,
don't think Jude Law can do any sort of like crying without looking like a child.
that's true because he definitely looks
face-
pathetic.
His face
Well,
just that.
In his defense, everybody fucking looks ridiculous when they cry. I'm sorry.
I
The,
mean,
the hottest
there's
lady,
some-
the most attractive lady you could think of, when they fucking cry on film or even in person, they look hideous.
like it depends on the cry. Because I mean, like if you're
Well,
like,
yeah, I mean that full blown fucking.
if you're full blown sobbing, yeah,
your
of
face,
course
is,
everyone
your
looks
face
fucking
is having a
ridiculous.
seizure. Everything.
But like Jude Law, if like he's just
Your
tearing
face,
up
yeah.
or like starting to like get really sad, he just has that kind of face where like he's just gonna look like a child the whole time.
yeah,
Yeah.
I know what you're saying.
But yeah, and this was this came out in 2006. Nope. But I'm a sucker for it.
Yeah,
I just recently rewatched it. Every 3 or 4 years I
Sure.
find
yeah.
myself
I never
rewatching
would have watched it
so.
without your suggestion. But I'm glad I did.
It also it's kind of sucker, but I also love that cottage.
Yeah,
That little cottage
Nerd.
is so quaint and
Mhm.
just dreamy. Yes, I said it.
Settle
dreamy.
it down. Settle it down.
Especially when it snows. It's gorgeous. I can find myself in
I think
summer
Go
home.
marry it.
I would love to. but I have to get a plane ticket.
Yeah.
The third film I'm going to pick is Big Fish,
Awesome.
and
I still
it's
have not finished that movie.
It's a slow pace.
it is. I mean, it's
There's
a
a
little
lot of
bit.
imaginary shit going
Yeah.
on, but yeah, it's
It's
just
a
got
long
on.
film too.
Just got added to Netflix. I haven't seen it since it came out.
I fell in love with this film since the first time I saw it.
Yeah,
And I didn't watch it for many years
and
later.
Looks phenomenal.
It came out in 2003.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah.
a Tim Burton film.
Yeah.
That's probably why it
And-
looks so cool.
Yeah, and it was Ian McGregor is like the main actor.
Mm-hmm.
Billy Crudup is in it, and
Danny DeVito in it.
Yep, Danny DeVito's in it.
Danny DeVito is in any movie that requires a top hat and a short person,
Especially
especially from Tim Burton.
But
That's why he was in the remake of Elephant, whatever.
I had
Yes, Dumbo.
I had a hard time really picking this one for romance because it has such a variety
Mm-hmm.
of subjects,
Yeah, I'm
between
curious to hear
adventure
why.
into comedy into
Yep.
drama and stuff. Because it all had,
It's
it
a fucking
hits it. Like Princess Bride kind of concept.
yeah.
Well, yeah,
I was gonna say,
I was
basically
just
it
saying
is.
The
It
Wizard
is.
of Oz.
The Princess Bride.
Yeah, it really is. It has. It says it's an adventure, drama, fantasy, romance.
But I'm curious to why you chose it as a romance.
I chose the romance because it's not just about his father telling the tale of his life and finding love, as much as the love of his father's life, who his children didn't believe existed.
Okay.
So it was this idea that his father was a storyteller. His children never believed a word what his father said
Yeah.
because he was a
it was
storyteller.
yeah.
And so there's this love for the father, but there's also this, I don't believe what they're saying. He's
And-
delusional. He's
And
crazy,
all his
whatever.
friends, all that journey and that deep connection that he makes with all his friends, and they all are
Yeah.
together at the end. Or
And
whatever.
at the end, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And at the end, that's
It-
when it comes
it-
together. As you find out
bonds
that,
are
oh
built.
my goodness, yeah, like people love this man. Like he
Mhm.
wasn't just pretending, and that's
Mhm.
where a
you can add
sense,
that to the
a sense of like, the idea that we were wrong about dad,
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
and stuff like that. But
There's something to
um,
be said about the definition of romance, because like there's saying that like a movie can be romantic because it, inflates the idea of something.
mhm.
And I think that's where Big Fish kind of falls in. Like,
Well, yeah, we spoke of it last episode. It's just that connectivity, that connection.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
but saying like something you're romanticizing something means you're giving it more
Ah,
more depth and more
nice.
flavor
Yeah.
than it might necessarily have.
You're creating something that you think is ideal
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
versus
And I
what
think
really
that's where-
happens.
I think
And
that's
yes,
where Big Fish kind of
and
falls.
that's exactly what
Yeah.
that
Nice.
you're nailing it. That's
Yeah.
exactly what I'm trying to come across is the father is romanticizing his stories throughout his life, which were
Yeah.
real, but the children saw behind that thinking it was just him romanticizing. It was creating a fantasy of his world.
Yeah.
And then they find out it's true, and it's like this. It's too late.
Yep.
At
Yeah.
that, that's what I think that I really hit the most. Once again, it's that I fucking really like my dark shit because
Yeah, you do.
Mhm.
that's what I loved the most about this was his fucking children were being a bunch of assholes.
Yeah.
To a man
Yeah,
who
for
didn't
sure.
deserve it, and
by the time they
by the time it
found the
was
truth or believed, it was too late.
too late. Yep. So, but yeah, that's my feeling.
Legit.
Yeah, I never watched Big Fish until many years later.
Yeah, a roommate of mine, I never would have gave it a shot. Or
Hmm.
maybe no, he bought it on DVD and it was like, you got to check this out.
But I would have to say, out of these three that I picked,
City of Angels.
ooh, I don't know, man. City of Angels, Big Fish, or The Holiday. Ooh. I'm actually gonna say Big Fish.
Yeah?
Yeah, like I love City of Angels, but like I've
Yeah.
seen that a handful of times enough. I
Sure.
don't, it's
Like, you're
whatever.
pretty much just like, yeah.
But Big Fish has so much more to it.
And it was
Yeah.
one of the first films that looked so glorious to
Mhm.
sit visually.
It really, leaned into the visual effects.
It was groundbreaking for that shit.
Yeah.
And it's just, the colors were popping. I don't know. It was very smooth.
Yeah, I have to say Big Fish because there's a
Yeah.
lot more things that I connect with, and I think I in depth
Mm-hmm.
connection
Right
to
on.
it. Especially when it fits towards the romantic side. Like The Holiday would probably be the next one,
Really?
Because of the fact that it's a charming comedy,
Mm.
and that is one of those where I'm like, oh man,
Yeah.
you know. But City of Angels is just sad.
Yeah.
So I don't.
That's depressing for sure.
If I was to live in any of those, I think Big Fish is the one I would want to live in. So yeah,
All right. Yeah.
that's our 3 fucking films.
I think we did it.
Yeah, well, quickly, your first. What are your 3 again, Aaron?
My 3 were the Pixar film Up, the Nicolas Cage film The Family Man, and the what's coined as an indie comedy, My Big Fat Greek Wedding. I
Yeah.
don't think it
Indie,
stayed indie,
huh?
like because I don't
It's
think it was made by a major company, but
Yeah.
Never know.
I think
Definitely.
the second one might have been, but like the
Yeah.
first one wasn't.
I got When Harry Met Sally, A Star Is Born, and Groundhog Day.
I love it.
Yeah.
I want to
Wonderful.
go watch it right now.
I kind of want to watch Big
I
Fish.
love when he
now.
just shoves the cake in his mouth and she's looking like, what?
And what you say, an advancing man of your age or something shouldn't be eating like that. I don't know.
He's like, I can do whatever I want, whenever.
Yeah, I just like that phrase, an advancing man. Or I don't know.
Bill Murray for you. Mine was City of Angels, The Holiday, and Big Fish.
Yeah, we just heard. No, I'm just kidding. Hell yeah.
Yeah. I'm not
Fuck
going to
yeah.
play by their rules anymore.
All right. Well,
Sorry, it's my
next.
favorite line from that whole movie.
I could probably say like probably our favorite film, although I haven't seen some of yours. It's probably Groundhog's Day.
Oh,
Yeah.
collectively.
Yeah, collectively, I can probably say it's Groundhog's Day
Mhm.
for sure. That film comes on every year too, so like on TV.
We just missed Groundhog's Day. We should have just done it for a bonus episode.
Should have.
Oh shit. Yeah.
Truly.
I forget it's like a real thing.
It is a real thing. It's because that movie
It's
makes
so-
it seem like it shouldn't be a real thing. Between
But
that,
same with the whole shadow and the fucking groundhog.
between
Stupid.
Groundhog's Day and Caddyshack,
Mhm.
Bill Murray hates rodents.
Especially ground dwellers.
Groundhog, yeah,
right.
like fucking.
Any rodent
Rodents.
that digs a hole.
Yeah. Fucking voles at my feet.
So, yep, that has been this week's romance films.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
We got Thor next week and 3 more romantic.
Tres más.
yeah. So,
Or anyway, speaking Spanish. Tres más. 3 more.
yes,
Don't look at me like you're confused.
dry.
No, he was just like, why'd you say that? I'm just kidding.
I felt like
That's it.
Because I felt like it. Fair enough.
Yeah.
All right. Are we getting out of here?
We have trois. Trois cinema.
Jesus, the way he said it sounded like twat.
It's French for you. What do you expect?
Fair
Bunch
enough.
of
That's true.
they probably came up with the word twat. So,
All right.
but yeah, this has been another B&B Banter Bros Goes to the Movie episode.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening and catch us next week.
Peace.
Good one.
Hurt feelings make me laugh.